Hello guys, this year I decided to make the wine, the real wine, so a big quantity. So I will buy it, don't worry, this is not my vineyard. I'm only here to show you the vineyard. This year is not the best year. The people told me or advice is better if you skip it, but if you want to do for fun, you can do it also to show in your video. So I will do it. I will buy Primitivo grapes because I want to make Primitivo wine because I am in Salento, south of Italy, Apulia. So many foreigners know this kind of wine, so it will be perfect also for you because I will show you how the one that you like it is made. Today, September the 12th, is the time for the grape harvest. But how you can decide if it's the right time or not? You need to check the sugar inside your grape. Now with the refractometer I will check it. Should be more than 20, 21. So between 21 to 26, depends on the kind of wine you want to make it. Let's check it. The result is 22.2 bricks. One grape is not enough, so now we will check different grapes around the vineyard to know the average of the sugar inside the grapes, and after we can harvest our grapes. 22.20, 20.75, 21.8, 22.4. Back at home, now we need to crush our grapes. How you can do it? With a specific machine, if you have a big quantity. If you do a small quantity like me, homemade wine, here we have 60 kilograms of grapes. You can do it with your feet. So now I will go around before in the water to wash my feet, and after I will crush the grapes. Crush all the grapes. I prepare already the fermenter, not because I want to do the red wine with the fermenter, but because I want to do rosé wine, the pink wine. But Primitivo grapes have strong color, so I need to collect the juice now. So I will put my basin here on this top, collect the juice, and also check the original gravity. Done the steps for the rosé wine, we can go ahead with the Primitivo wine. I'll tell you also the original gravity, that is the same of the rosé wine, 1106, so the wine will be very rich, probably 13-14 alcohol percentage of alcohol content, plus with the skin will be really spectacular. But what about the grape stem or stem? It's better if you remove it, because this one is olives, because if it's green, after I will show you more close, instead of release tannin inside your wine, we release something the same of when you eat green fruit. So instead of be very smoothie on your tongue, will be a little bit sticky, so not good at all. So it's better to remove it. With a little bit of patience, you do like this and throw inside your bag. And I collect 2 baskets of grape stem. So now we should wait that the fermentation start. Tomorrow morning I will adapt you. Now I cover with a big towel or a sheet, bed sheet, only to prevent that some insect go inside. Eight in the morning, the following morning, when you enter in the room, you can already smell the wine and fermentation smell. But I think the fermentation is not so active yet. This is why I want to check the temperature inside our container. 24 Celsius degree are perfect. Now with a spoon like this we need to mix everything. When I will mix, you will notice that there will be no foam. This means that the fermentation is not so active. So I will mix everything, I will cover again, and this afternoon I will check again if the fermentation starts. Usually you need 24 hours. After 24 hours the fermentation starts. I don't know if you've noticed, when I put the wine, the grapes, everything together in this container, there was a little bit of foam. This foam means that the fermentation starts. So, because they can stay together, it is better if you do a big quantity. I decided to use only one container, but before, near the tap, with the basket for cheese, I make a kind of filter. Now I'll show you. In this way, when you open the tap, all the big parts will stay attached to the filter and the wine can go out. What we should do now, at least 2 times a day, with a spoon like this, you need to push down the grapes, the skin, all this stuff, because if they stay too long up in contact with the air, they can make some mold or some bacteria and spoil your wine. So at least 2 times a day, like this. Now I will show you more close. And also you can notice that when I move it, you can see a little bit of foam, but tomorrow, don't worry, the fermentation will grow more and you will notice even more. If you live nearby where you have your wine, you can do also 3-4 times a day. You will need only 10 minutes to push down the things. See you tomorrow morning. Like I mentioned already yesterday, now we have a kind of cap on our wine. So we should push everything down at least 3 times a day. I said yesterday, but I want to be clear. In the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. If you can do it more time, don't worry. Do it also 5 times a day. Up to you. So let's push everything down. I don't know if you can notice already this spectacular color and the foam that are going up here on the top. After 7 days, I decided to put the wine in the Damigiana. This is the Italian name. The English name for me is too difficult. I will write it, don't worry. Why? Because the fermentation more or less is done, so I prefer to finish it inside the Damigiana. 7 days ago I smashed the grapes. After 2 days the fermentation was very active. After 5 days I checked the gravity, it was already 1030. Today, after 7 days, I check again now, and the gravity is 1014. So the fermentation more or less is done. When we reach 1000, we can put in the bottle. So when the fermentation is done, I will wait to put in the bottle to have a clear wine. So I decided to finish the fermentation inside here. Now to the top I attach a tube or a pipe. In this way the wine will not splash inside and get in contact with the air. I will put the wine here, and after I will close it with a lid that is a kind of airlock. Collect all your wine. In this container will remain something. What you can do with this material that you have inside the container, I don't know the English name, sorry. You have different options. You can squeeze it very well until it becomes dry and collect all the juice and put together with the wine. You can leave like this, little bit humid, and make the vinegar. But I already posted a video about the vinegar. You can watch here on the channel when I make dolcetto wine with dolcetto grapes. Or you can make grappa from it. But in Italy, homemade grappa is illegal. In some countries not illegal, so you can try to make it. But I cannot do the video for you because it's illegal. Another thing that you can do it is called vinello or acquerello. That is kind of the translation little wine, because it's wine not so rich. You will put other ingredients, but I speak about the vinello. In this airlock, usually they put the water, but only to be sure I use a liquor. This was a kiwi liquor that I find here in the store room. Now we wait that the fermentation go ahead. I will show you that at the end I fill only half of the Damigiana. So finally probably we will have 25 liters of spectacular Primitivo wine. After 1 month, we should move the wine from this big Damigiana to the other small one. So now we remove the airlock, and with a pipe like this, I will move the wine in the other one. Please be careful, if it's too long and you touch the bottom, you can collect also the sediment, all the things that we don't want from this one. So start maybe a little bit higher, and after you can move a little bit down. When you are moving the wine from one container to another, it's always good to smell it and to taste it a sip. Very strong. You can taste, we say that it's still young, so we need 6 months to have a good spectacular wine. But it's important that you don't taste like a vinegar taste. So now here in this container, this Damigiana, I have 25 liters. Now I will seal it, and after we will check what remains here inside. I seal it very well. Somebody will ask, what kind of liquid did you put inside? It's my own made whiskey. You can use also grappa, some kind of liquor that cannot change the taste of your wine. This is advice from Carmelo. If you put this kind of alcohol on the top, you can avoid kind of infection. Plus I put a cork, the plastic lid, and also the tape, because I will put the wine in the bottle in May, so in 8 months. I want to be sure that when I am not around, the lid doesn't go away. If the wine remains open in contact with air, it will become a vinegar, because this wine is without preservative. Now let's check what remains inside. You can notice the deposit, the dirty things on the bottom. Okay, see you in 8 months when we will put our Primitivo wine in the bottles. This is why you should move the wine from a jar to another, but when you should do it, usually when the temperature drops, when it's cold. Like, you know, if you follow my channel, this winter I was in Indonesia, so now that I'm back in Italy, in Apulia, Salento, I will not move from a jar to another, but I will put directly in the bottles. Usually the best time to move the wine is when it's very cold, so in Italy, for example, will be December, January for the first time, and after you can put your wine in the bottle after the spring, usually after Easter here in Italy, because when the temperature is cold, all these pieces of grapes, all that dead yeast will drop on the bottom. So when you move the wine in another big jar, you will leave all this sediment on the other one. And why you should put the wine in the bottles after the spring? Because when the temperature rises a little bit, can start again the fermentation. So what's happened? Some bottle can explode, and also if you have the malolactic, I hope that is the right word in English, don't worry, I will write, the malolactic fermentation, sometimes you can smell rotten eggs, sulfur, but don't worry, if it happens to you, when you open the bottle and you smell eggs, the wine is not rotten, it's only this fermentation. So if you put in a decanter, or you leave the bottle open, in the way that gets a little bit of air, the smell go away and you can drink your wine. What kind of bottle we should use? Like you know, I like to recycle the bottles. Some bottles are better than others for sure. Usually the good ones are more thick, more resistant. You can notice also from the bottom, but don't worry, deep bottom doesn't mean good wine. I say this for my friends because last time we were playing with this situation. Okay, this one is less deep, but because the glass is less thick. So more thick you find the glass, better is it, because it's more resistant and will be more dark. Or like me, you can use the bottle for prosecco or champagne or sparkling wine. Why? Because usually they are very thick, and plus you have two options. You can use the cork like here, or you can use the other one. Wait, I have one here because I don't remember the name. This one, this is small because it's the one for the beer. You need to buy the bigger one for this. And like I mentioned in the video about the price of the beer, if you make homemade beer, what does it cost? You can use also these bottles for the beer, because you can use this kind of lid. Maybe you can open it when you have a dinner or a party with your friends. So 75 cl will be perfect for a party. Plus, if you like to age your wine but you have not the barrel, you can put the wood inside a jar like this. So this jar is 5 liters, like Alex Larsen advised. With 5 liters you can add 100 grams of oak. This is a turbo stick oak that I use when I age my grappa. So I will put here in the jar 100 grams. I will use also my new machine to put the cork. Sorry, I don't know the name. Let's test it. Okay, see you in the basement. I will change my dress because the Primitivo wine is like ink. If drop on your shirt, you can throw it. See you soon. My tap is a little bit old, don't close properly, but it's okay, I can still use it. Now that I already put 2 liters of wine in the bottles, I will put 5 liters here in the jar with the wood. I don't know if you have noticed the color. I'll show you better. Spectacular. And the smell, really, really spectacular. So now I will go ahead to put the wine in the bottles. I will close only one to show you the machine if it's working or not. And about the wax, you can see the old video. If the cork doesn't go through very easy, you can oil them a little bit with extra virgin olive oil or with seed oils, a little bit, not much. They will enter better in the bottles. And now and after, we should wait 3 weeks before we can bottle also the aged wine. This is the only problem when you use this kind of machine for the cork. You see, it's a little bit outside, but don't worry, for the wine it's not a problem, it's only ugly to see. So if you remove it, the extra part a little bit, and after with the wax you cover everything, your bottle will be spectacular inside and outside. Okay, see you in 3 weeks to bottles the aged wine. Finally, after 21 days, we can put our last 5 liters of wine in the bottles, because now is aged following the advice of Alex. Because the bottle is small, we don't use the pipe or all this equipment, but with a funnel we put directly the wine in the bottles and after we cork it. For this year our work is finished. Now we should have a little bit of patience, a little bit more. I will wait 2 months, so will be 1 year from when I collect the grapes, and I will do the final testing of the wine, comparing all the kind of wine that I made using the grapes from the beginning. Plus this small piece of wood, you can keep it, you can use for other recipe, maybe for a beer. If you make the Italian grape ale, you can use it, you can find the recipe here on the channel. Or if you make homemade vinegar, you can put the vinegar in a container with the wood, or you can use for smoking some kind of salami or cold cuts, because this wood will be perfect, very aromatic. You remove from the wine, you dry a little bit, and after you can use for smoking. See you in 2 months for the final testing. So we will test first the Vinello, because I want to show you that now it's a little bit sparkling. The red wine, Primitivo red wine, and the one that I age. I can recognize because I put the wax like in artistic way, is only to recognize it. I don't know if you have noticed the sound when I open the bottle. Spectacular. It's little bit sparkling, but the body is not strong. You will notice also from the color now that I will open the real wine, the Primitivo wine. Already from the smell, you can feel that it's spectacular. Really, really, really spectacular. You can taste the body of the wine. It's completely different from the Vinello, but the Vinello is good, but this one is spectacular. Yeah, even better if you open the bottle and you wait 1 hour before the tasting. So let's test the aged one. Already the smell is spectacular. You can smell the wood that we put inside. If you compare, this one is more sweet, like fresh fruit, like figs. This one is like more prunes, cherry, or dry fruit. Spectacular. Let's taste it. Spectacular. Also this one even better if you open and wait 1 hour before you drink it. So, like probably you already know, from the less strong and the more young to the stronger and the older and the sweeter. Okay guys, remember to subscribe to the channel, to leave me a like, to watch and share this video with your friends. I hope that you like this video. I know that it's very long, but it's a project of 1 year, so I hope that you appreciate it. By the way, yesterday evening Mimmo called me, so tomorrow morning I will go and pick up the Primitivo grapes, so I will start again this project for next year. But don't worry, I will not make another video because I will do the same steps. Maybe I will make some shorts to update you. Bye bye. The smell is really, really spectacular. These sounds are the birds outside, don't worry.